Mile 22 is such a simple premise for an action film that it's almost impossible to screw up. All Mark Wahlberg and his team of highly trained red shirts have to do is transport a corrupt cop from the American embassy to an airstrip through an entire city of people trying to kill them, so he can give them a file which will stop a bad thing from happening, probably. The film doesn't seem to care about its plot, and neither do I. How simple is that? Hell, the corrupt cop is even that guy from The Raid. You remember, it's that awesome film that plays like Die Hard on steroids and utterly killed Dredd, which had a similar premise and went into production first but lost the release war because of VFX touch-ups, which meant that it looked unoriginal. And focus, Miles. Stop talking about things that actually interest you and instead talk about Mile 22. Okay, so Wahlberg runs a team called Overwatch who are sent in to do things that the government would rather not get caught doing, and they're watched over by John Malkovich, who has the codename Mother, which isn't creepy at all, or giving me flashbacks to last year's God Knows What starring Jennifer Lawrence. Malkovich is accompanied everywhere by his collection of bobbing heads of presidents past and present, their fake plastic grins casting a knowing eye over clandestine killing. If I was being generous, I might say there's some sort of satirical point being made about America's habit of nodding things through without waiting for international backing or support or legality, whilst maintaining the cheerful idealism of America whilst the more unsavoury realities of its actions are made explicit. But the film's not smart enough to make that point, and neither has director Peter Berg done anything along those lines, so I'll just move on. Besides, you didn't come to see Mile 22, which is how far that convoy has to go before the end credits can start, to hear about satire on geopolitics or how the characters are flatter than a policeman trying to get a runaway steamroller to stop at a red light. You want to know how exciting the scenes where the bang-bangs go into the bad man and make him fall over are. And they're fine. There's a nice scene where the Dread Killer gets to show off his moves in an almost Jackie Chan-esque sequence, and enough gunfights, car chases and running to keep you vaguely focused, but there's nothing spectacular or unique or even that memorable. The action scenes are predictable. There's just this vein of gritty nihilism running through the whole thing, which normally I wouldn't complain about, but this is a film where a bit more gloss and some slightly more outlandish stunts would have helped. Also, the editing on these scenes sucks. Seriously, how hard is it to watch Heat a few times until you understand how this type of action should be shot? I mean, allegedly they use those gunfights whilst training US Marines. Sorry, distracted again. I recommend not trying to follow the plot beyond the time-limited escort mission that the trailers have made you think, as it's a convoluted mess that exists purely for sequel bait, and could have been removed completely without impacting the film in the slightest. But it's also the blindingly obvious type of confusing mess. How they're going to turn this into a multimedia series baffles me. This is the kind of world building that makes the DCEU/Dark Universe look competent. As an action film, it's a dull grey mess full of one-dimensional characters labouring under a plot that's too twisty for its own good, full of action scenes that have been done far better. As a starting point for the Mileverse, yeah, I'll pass, but what did I expect? The whole franchise has been going downhill since 8 Mile. So I definitely think you should skip it. But what do you guys think? And what is your favourite escort mission movie? Comment below and let me know. I'm Daniel. It's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.